In the last video, I explained you about the electronic configuration of first period elements, and we had seen that the elements start from metallic character, strong metallic character in a period, and they go towards the right hand side in the periodic table and change to non-metallic character. We had seen that the metals have 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons. Now you understand valence electrons are the electrons present in the outermost shell of the atom. They decide about the valency of the element. And we also had seen that non-metallic elements have 4 to 7 electrons in their valence shell. Now, what is the reason for the chemical reactivity? Also, I had told you the reason for chemical reactivity of elements is that they want to gain 8 electrons in their outermost shell. 8 electrons, that means that is the electronic configuration like that of the noble gases. So, what can be done if the elements have 1 to 3 electrons in their outermost shell? To gain the 8 electrons in their outermost shell, they will have the tendency to donate the electrons. They will give away their 1, 2 or 3 electrons from the valence shell. When they give away the electrons, I have told you that they form positively charged ions, because the number of electrons will become less because they are giving away their electrons, and the number of protons remains the same. So number of protons exceeds the number of electrons present in the atom when they donate the electrons, so they acquire positive charge. Now these positively charged ions are known as cations. Then non-metals tend to accept the electrons because they have 4 to 7 electrons in their outermost shell. So they tend to accept electrons so as to get 8 electrons in their outermost shell. When they are accepting extra electrons, the number of protons become less as compared to the total number of electrons. As the number of protons becomes less, so the resulting particle will have a negative charge. Or we can say that non-metals, after accepting the electrons, form negatively charged ions. The negatively charged ions are known as the anions. So metals donate electrons and form cations, and non-metals accept electrons and they form anions. Now when they are donating or accepting the electrons, then the reason for donating or accepting the electron is they want to acquire the electronic configuration like that of the nearest noble gas. Now when these charged particles are formed, then as we know that the opposite charges will attract each other. So the cations and anions which are formed by donation and accepting the electrons will get attracted towards each other by the electrostatic force of attraction, and the particles will remain together in the form of molecule. So the force of attraction which is there between the oppositely charged ions is known as electrovalent bond. The force of attraction formed to form the molecule in oppositely charged ions is known as electrovalent bond. The chemical bond is known as electrovalent bond, and it is also called ionic bond. It is called ionic bond because the particles from atom which are not charged, which are neutral atoms, neutral particles, by accepting or donating electrons, they change into charged particles. The charged particles are known as the ions, and the ions get attracted towards each other and remain in the form of molecules. So we also call this kind of bond as ionic bond.